Hi everyone, and welcome to this quick tutorial on how to use Adobe Connect. This session is to prepare you for joining our virtual online session that we're going to have for Articulate Storyline. But I'll give you some quick tips of what to expect when you log into Adobe Connect if you have not used Adobe Connect in the past. So what you're going to do for our class session is you're going to go to this URL. It is up here in the browser window. You can choose whichever browser you'd like to. You can use Internet Explorer, you can use Firefox, you can use Chrome. I actually use Chrome and Firefox for the most part. I'm not an Internet Explorer user. So right now I've got Firefox open. That's what you see on your screen. And then on my other screen I actually am logged in to Google Chrome, and I'm logged in as the instructor. So I've got the instructor login on one screen, and I'm going to go through and show you what the student login will look like. So when you get here, you can just enter as a guest, and you can just enter your name, and then you can enter the room. Once you do that, I get a notification as the instructor that you are trying to access the room. And let me move this window over here. It opened on my third screen. I want you to be able to see this. So right now you can see it's still loading. I get a message as an instructor that says Danny Watkins would like to enter the room, and I'm going to go ahead and accept. And at that point, once I accept, then you will actually see the room load into the window. And we will just give it a moment to do that. Okay, so this is where you will land, and this is what we would call our lobby. So when you log in and you get accepted, you will come right into the classroom, and what you'll probably see is something similar to this. You will see all of these different pods. So you'll see an attendee pod. This shows you who's logged in. You can see I'm logged in right now as the instructor or the host, and then I'm also logged in as a student on two different browsers. And then you can also see that I've got a chat pod. This is where you can say hello and just have some conversation. The audio information is listed here as well, and I'll go back to the audio here in just a moment. We've got a question and answer pod. This is when you have questions around the content. This would be really helpful to put your questions in here. That way, if there are any questions we don't get to during the session, we can go back and answer those questions and send them off to you and give you the answers. And then finally, we have a files pod, and this is where you can download different files. Right now, you'll see I've got a virtual quick start guide for participants, and that is actually the Adobe Connect document that you saw in the Talent LMS before you came to class as well. It's the same document, but it's here so that you could download that at any time. When you click on the file, you then just click on download file, and off you go. So the other thing that you're going to see and that we should talk about is audio. So you can join the audio in two different ways. You can join via phone line, or you can join using a headset and a microphone. It's really important that you have microphone and you have speaking capability, because this is an interactive course. It is not a webinar. It is a virtual instructor-led training. So it's really important that you're able to speak. So you can either call in on this conference number, or you can use a headset. That's usually where we run into most of the challenges, is getting people's headsets to connect correctly, and some of that has to do with the settings that might be on your computer. So to do that, a couple of tools that you'll want to know about. The first one is under the meeting drop-down, and there you'll see an audio setup wizard. At any point, if you're having trouble with audio, this is a great place to come to test your audio. Now, in order to get audio, the first thing I have to do as the instructor is I have to give you microphone rights. So I'm actually doing that right now on my other login. So I just enabled the microphone, and you'll see this little pop-up that says microphone rights granted. And you can either click on speak now, but you'll notice it disappears. And if that happens to you, not a big deal. You have this new icon up here that says connect my audio, and there's a little microphone. So you can click on that, and you'll hear both of my voices. So I'm going to mute that, so that we don't get the echo. But normally you would just leave then your microphone on. Now, if you have a couple of different if you have a headset or you have speakers on your laptop or your computer, you can choose which microphone to use. So right now you'll notice that my default and what it's chosen is my headset. So I'd want to switch that if I was having some issues or it was pulling the wrong microphone feed. I can also disconnect my microphone from here. You can adjust the microphone volume if you like. What's probably the most important is if you choose to use the phone line, what's going to happen is your computer laptop is probably going to pick up the audio. And then you've also got the phone line audio. So if that happens, you're going to hear an echo. So what's really important is that you mute your microphone so that you don't get that echo. You also, in some instances, have to mute the speakers as well, because you'll hear yourself speaking on the phone, but then it'll come through on your laptop or laptop speakers potentially. So you might have to mute those as well. But know that those are up here, and that's where you'll go to do a little bit of troubleshooting so you sort of know where to look. In addition, one of the recommendations we made is to connect on a hardwire. So if you can plug in to your internet connection, that's the most probably the most reliable. If you are on wireless and you're using voice over IP, you're going to have some delays. It can be up to a few seconds, and it can be a little annoying. So if you can plug into a wall with the old-fashioned cord, that is ideal. Anytime you can check your connection status. If you have all of these green bars, you can click on these and it'll show you what your connection status is. The green bars are good. So if you have a lot of green bars, you'll be able to see what your latency is. You'll be able to see what your up and your down load times are as well. If at any time that turns red, it means that your connection is compromised and either you need to plug into the wall or you need to check your wireless settings. But that helps you sort of keep tabs on what's going on with your connection speed. In addition, we have lots of different layouts. We call them layouts in Adobe Connect. They're actually like little mini conference rooms or classrooms. So right now you're in the lobby, and this is the lobby layout. If I go over to my instructor screen and I change the layout, you'll notice that the layout changes on your screen as well. What this enables you to do is it allows me to quickly switch to different layouts and share different things with you. So for example, if I on the instructor side of things share my screen, I can share an application. So right now what you're going to see is I'm sharing Storyline. Now it's pretty small for you right now, so what you could do is at any time you can zoom in to see something by clicking on this little icon, the zoom in icon, or you can zoom back out. And the other thing you can do is you can make it full screen. Now it just actually popped beyond my recording window, but that should show you at least how you can sort of make it full screen. And then you have a little, if you hover your mouse at the top of your screen, I think I can pull this recording window up here for just a moment. If I hover my mouse up here, I get this gray bar where I can exit full screen at any time. Let me bring my recording window back. So that makes it very easy for you to maximize what you're seeing and make it as large as you need to make it. That is on most of the pods that are share pods. It's also on the video pod. I'm probably the only one who's going to use the video pod. You're welcome to use the video pods as well, but don't feel like you need to. So I'll use the video pod here and there. It does pull down the bandwidth a little bit, so I don't use it the whole time, but know that it's there as well. And then finally, throughout the day, I might ask you to do some different things like answer a question, raise your hand, agree, disagree. You can use these icons at the top of your screen to do that. You can also tell me what to do. So if I'm going too fast, you can tell me to slow down. If I'm going too slow, you can tell me to speed up or speak louder, speak softer. Give me a high five, a little bit of applause if you want as well. So those are there too. So the only other really pod that you're probably going to interact with that is that I want to show you, and that is the collaboration, the whiteboarding tool. So what happens is we have this whiteboarding tool, and again, you can make it larger by going to full screen if you choose. But here I might ask you to interact or answer some questions. And to do that, probably the easiest way is to use the text tool. So you'll click on the T icon. You'll click in the whiteboard. You'll type something. And as soon as you click outside of that text box, then everyone else can see what you've typed. So if you stay clicked in here and you have this little text box frame around it, no one can see what you've typed. You have to click outside for others to see what you've typed. And then the rest are pretty straightforward. You've got some different drawing tools. So you've got pencil, pen, things like that, so that you can draw what you need to draw. To change your utensil, you just click and hold your mouse to expand this menu. And then you'll notice an arrow at the top and the bottom. Because I'm not in full screen, I have more tools down here. So if you click on the arrow, you'll be able to change the color. You'll be able to, draw some different items as well. You can also hide the toolbar if you choose to, which you might do inadvertently. If you do that, you can just click on this arrow to bring back the toolbar. I'm sure someone will do that at some point and then won't be able to find it. Right now we only have one whiteboard, but we can create multiple pages, so that certainly could happen as well. And over on the instructor screen, I am seeing everything that I'm writing as a student. So I think those are the basics. We might launch some polls here and there, but those are pretty straightforward. But hopefully this gives you an overview of Adobe Connect so that we can be as efficient as possible during class and go from there. So if you have any questions, feel free to post them in Talent LMS and a discussion board. But if not, I look forward to seeing you in our first class, and I hope you have a fabulous day.